Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So by now you've probably already seen the results, or at least most of you have seen the results from this past weekend's PPG event. First place was an Imperialdramon deck piloted by Don Bang, I believe is how you say, Don Vong. I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce it, but it was an Imperialdramon deck. Very, very reminiscent of 1.5, not really anything new to it. Just a solid Imperialdramon deck, and yeah, took first place. The thing is, right now, Wargreymon Yellow is kind of the meta go-to, even myself included, but in doing so, it is a very aggro-heavy deck. So the problem is that it has no good defense, and it's also kind of hurts itself in the process to get its combos going, so a really fast deck like Imperialdramon can really take over. But also on this list was a blue Imperial Rush deck, okay? And while we have the first place deck profile right here, or not really deck profile, but we have the at least the picture of what the first place was, it seems they've mis-uploaded something and that we don't actually have whatever this Imperial Rush deck was. So I'm just kind of throw my own 2 cents in here and kind of show you my build of what I think a really awesome Imperial Rush deck profile would be. This is very similar to a few other videos I've done previously, but this one is just really focused on combining Imperialdramon with basically Rookie Rush. Just straight up combine the 2 decks into one. It is a hyper aggressive deck. It's similar to my Ancient Garurumon deck profile that I had last week, but essentially dropping all the Ancient Garurumon stuff and just going like Rookie Rush with that same kind of premise here. Also, don't forget this month's memory marker is Upamon. So if you're rocking the blue decks now, Imperialdramon, or even yellow, if you're playing Upamon in yellow, you definitely want to get one of these guys' cute, adorable memory markers handmade by my wife, made out of clay. It even glows in the dark. It can't quite see it here, but they do a glow in the dark as well. They're super adorable. So check the link out in the description below for that Patreon. Okay, so getting right into it here, we have Upamon as our egg. Why do we have Upamon as our egg? That's because with Digibursting being just so rampant and people just getting rid of all their Digivolution sources, it makes Upamon super live. And while yes, this deck does have a fair amount of jamming in it, it's not really our go-to 100% strategy. So yeah, I just kind of went back to the Upamon for pretty much those reasons. Next up, of course, we have the Jamming Vmon. If you're playing blue, I don't think you're ever going to drop this. I mean, even all the way into BT6, Vmon is still pretty incredible. Even with all the Gabumons that you play, I mean, it's still really good. I mean, jamming on a rookie is phenomenal, honestly. Next up, we have the other Vmon here. I don't mind him in this deck so much just because we do a lot of unsuspending just kind of randomly, whether it be the X Vmon or Digivolving Imperialdramon on top of Imperialdramon to pass turn, or then the following turn swinging with Imperialdramon to unsuspend because of the Imperialdramon inheritable. Just you're doing a lot of unsuspending. Literally almost every stage of this whole deck beyond rookie it has some way to unsuspend with this inheritable underneath it. So yeah, I don't mind including it on this just for more draw power. Any kind of draw power we can get to really just get into everything. Mainly what I mean by getting into everything is getting into your outs for any sort of situation you're in, or just getting a nice hand diversion of being able to play all different kinds of things depending on the situation. I'm all about draw power, and Vmon just really works in this deck really well. Next up, I do have 2 Gabumons, just as a little bit of extra. Neither of these guys are going to be hard plays. You don't really want to hard play these. Now, this is a Rookie Rush strategy, so we're combining it with the green strategy, so we have a lot of hard play greens, but just a couple Gabumons, just to help, add things to there a little bit. You could easily drop him out for a vanilla, or just really whatever kind of blue Digimon rookie that really floats your boat, honestly. Next up, we've got the 4 of Strawbymon. So Strawbymon combo is really great in this deck because we do play a lot of Davis, and being able to just play this and then either add Davis, add another Strawbymon, or add this Lobomon it just really gives us like more search power, which I really like, just because we're fairly limited on digivolving in this deck, so getting draw power through that is a little limited. We are trying to get up into an Imperialdramon, but if we can't get into an Imperialdramon, we're just going with the whole like pure rookie rush strategy in this deck. So we're just kind of balancing things out between these two different strategies, and just Strawbymon to search more things to just get more advantage, I'm all in favor for. XVmon, we kind of covered it a little bit with the Vmon here. You could digivolve it on top of this Vmon and unsuspend itself, but my favorite play, and a very common play, is to swing with the Vmon here and then digivolve the XVmon to unsuspend the jamming Vmon, either on top of another rookie, which is preferred, and then a swing again a second time with the jamming Vmon. Or if you want to just digivolve on top of the jamming Vmon to unsuspend it to like pass your turn, so that way they can't just run it over and then you can go up into a level 5 on the following turn. This kind of keeps your digi stack alive with the XVmon. He just lots of different uses for this deck, so I definitely love having him at a 4 of. I mean, he is a game-winning piece. You can swing with the Vmon here, clear some security, and then just digivolve the XVmon right on top of him to literally swing for game immediately afterwards. So yeah, XVmon at a 4 of in this really hyper-aggressive deck. Yeah, definitely he's going to be our mainstay level 4 for sure. Next up, I do have the 2 Lobomons. I debated 3 just to kind of help guarantee that you can get into it at some point. You're going to be digivolving this on top of your Tamer, but only if you're probably going to win that turn. That's pretty crucial, is that you want to digivolve. If you're going to get rid of your memory correction Tamer, right, you need to win that turn or have a second one in play, so that way you can always make sure you're getting set back to that 3 memory every single turn. So just being able to push for game with these guys is awesome, just because your opponent is always, they see that Tamer in play and they're like, all right, what are the chances that they have the Lobomon in hand that's going to win them the game? You know, do I do my normal play, or do I be a little conservative and go a little more defensive? You know, so you can either mind game them by making them slow down so they don't kill you as fast, or, you know, they could overextend and you could just go with it anyways and just push for game. Really great stuff. I do have 2 of the Tobui, I don't even know how you say that, Tobuimon. And just because it's kind of like our Gorillamon was with this 1 cost evolution, but also the play cost of 3, I don't mind so much. I mean, this is almost the same as most of our other stuff. And normally in just a regular Rookie Rush deck, I wouldn't even bother with this one. I would probably just go with the Gorillamon. But since there are plenty of times that I really want to get into a level 5, I don't mind hard playing this just to go into the level 5 on top of it. Just really helps get going into that Imperialdramon play a little bit extra fast. So yeah, just a 2 of, though, just kind of balance the Lobomons out here. And that is it for the level 4s. We're only running the 8 level 4s. Very, very lean on this, okay? So you're literally just trying to get up into Imperialdramon and then Imperialdramon on top of Imperialdramon. I'm not running Dinobemon in this, just because Imperialdramon is the preferred. I mean, let's be real. Imperialdramon is your preferred level 5 over Dinobemon anyways, and then Imperialdramon on top of Imperialdramon is, you know, I mean, that's like game-winning stuff there. That's 3 swings in 1 turn when you can get the combo off. So, yeah, loving this guy. So he's at 4 of. Of course, we're going to maximize out on the Imperialdramon. And so we have 8 level 4s and then 4 level 5s. I feel like that's a pretty solid ratio. I do have 4 of the Imperialdramon. I debated only 3, but with it being very, very important, and with the chances that Strawbymon could hit one of these guys and send it to the bottom of the deck, I wanted some extra chances of being able to draw into it. So I did go ahead and max out on 4 and 4 of these. Just jamming is so incredible. Imperialdramon, if you don't know the combo, basically you'll have Imperialdramon on field. He'll swing right with the jamming into security, clear security. Then you'll Digivolve Imperialdramon on top of the Imperialdramon. Imperialdramon's effect will unsuspend itself because he himself has jamming. So then you're going to swing again now. Technically the same Digimon because the Imperialdramon turned into the Imperialdramon. So you're going to swing again, right? And then the Imperialdramon Inheritable will unsuspend the Imperialdramon again, allowing you to swing for a third time with this same Digimon. So swing once and then swing twice with this, essentially. So yeah, I mean, this thing just wins games on its own for sure. That's 3 swings right there. And if literally you were doing some work with your jamming Vmon down here, you know, got a swing or 2 with that, and the X Vmon, you know, allowing him some extra swings, I mean, literally you just win the game right there. And if you can clear your security, and then Lobomon just swoops in, right, and takes the game by Digivolving on top of your Davis. All right, speaking of Davis here, I have him at a 3 of. There for a minute, I was debating 4 of Davis and a 3 of Lobomon just to really help guarantee that we get into Davis. But ultimately, I decided not to. Maybe in a pure Imperialdramon deck, I would go with 4 Davis. But Imperialdramon, like I said, he isn't necessarily our main go-to. This is still an Imperialdramon Rookie Rush combination deck. We can still just go full Rookie Rush and never even Digivolve up into this. I mean, that is 100% still a solid strategy. We all know how powerful Rookie Rush is. It is incredibly annoying. This is probably the last format of it being incredibly powerful, so get your dues while you can. But yeah, so I went ahead and cut the Davis back down to 3 just because we don't need that guaranteed 3 memory every turn, just because we have lots of cheap stuff to Digivolve or just play. It is nice though. It is nice being able to get like 2 drops instead of 1 drop because Davis is on field. It is just great. Also, reveal the top 3, add any blue or any green Digimon or 1 of each to hand. Grab, you know, whatever you're short on. If you have the Imperialdramon in hand, grab the Imperialdramon. You know, grab whatever you need. That's what's so important about this is you can just grab whatever you're missing with the Davis. It hits in security, boom, that is a free search immediately that your opponent just gave you. That's why I don't mind running him out so high. It's just because if he hits in security, that is awesome. I love it when Davis hits in security. That's a free search for me, and it's a free, essentially, rookie for my Lobomon to go on top of. So if I have a second Davis, I'll just go into Lobomon right on top of the Davis, and because I still have a second one to keep giving me that memory fixing ability. Next up, we have the 4 of Hammerspark. You know, it's really hard to cut Hammerspark out of any kind of blue deck. It is an incredible card. Free memory, just if you don't have Davis on field and you're at 2 memory, you can just Hammerspark for get you up to the 3, and now boom, you're going into your Imperialdramon plays. You can go into your Imperialdramon plays, and then or you can go into your Imperialdramon plays. It just sets up so much more that you can do. You can hard play all these 3 cost drops to get their effects, and then still do something afterwards. And then Hammerspark and Davis both, I mean, they're kind of like the same kind of strategy in that sense of making sure you can get yourself that 3 memory to do big plays. Also, hitting it in security is just game winning for sure. Your opponent losing out on an entire like rest of their turn, whether it be more attacks or some big play that they're about to do, and they just have to pass turn to you. Yeah, Hammerspark is just, I mean, it's still phenomenal. I just can't get over it. And then last up is our essentially the last little bit of our Rookie Rush package here. We've got the 4 of each of the Auroramon and then the Leolwamon. Just 2 cost drop greens with 5k. You know, if anyone happens to still be running Volcanic Dramon for whatever reason, I don't think anyone is, but it doesn't touch these guys. Alter S, just you're not going to see Alter S in this format because it just gets annihilated by yellow. Just anything that they put out, yellow just going to clear before they'll ever even get into an Omnimon. And if they leave it in their raising area to get up into a level 6, then by that point, yellow or green, whichever, they've already done so much incredible damage to you that you're still just behind anyways. So yeah, I don't think you even have to worry about Alter S right now. So yeah, just a really good time to play this deck. And with the Rookie Rush strategy, because all the things that used to kill Rookie Rush really badly are all gone. It has a good matchup against Nidhogg. Nidhogg is all about, oh, if it, everything's suspended, then it all goes to the bottom of the deck. Well, guess what? I'm like 9 times out of 10 expecting all of my things to die in security anyways. So Nidhogg, if you send something to the bottom of the deck, not a big deal, not a total loss, because I expected it to die anyways. And then lastly, I went with the 4 Positron Laser. This thing is insane. Whenever I played Rookie Rush in 1.5, Positron Laser was just absurdly powerful, okay? If my opponent ever gave me a lot of memory and I could play this on my turn and still, like, attack and do all my stuff, oh my god. That was like, I mean, I was probably going to win at that point because it was just so gnarly if I could play Positron on my own turn. But its security effect is also just crazy. I mean, you can hit this and then basically shut your whole opponent down. We have a lot of blue Digimon, so getting that blue Digimon effect to bounce something, I mean, that's really easy, especially if it triggered in security. Whatever triggered it is probably suspended. So yeah, it just does great things for sure. Loving this thing. Also, if they hit it with a Grand Kawagamon, he doesn't unsuspend himself, so he's a prime target to get bounced back to hand before they can Chaosmon you. So yeah, Positron Laser just puts in crazy work. Also, if you, I like this instead of Puppetmon. You notice there's no Puppetmon in this deck. I did think about putting it at a 2-up, but ultimately decided there wasn't really anything in here I wanted to cut. Like I said, I maybe could have cut the Imperialdramon, little risky, but then I was like, well, I don't know what else I would want to cut to add in the Puppetmon. Like, everything else I think is too tight and too important to cut. Even a Hammerspark, I don't really want to cut a Hammerspark down just to add in 2 Puppetmon. I mean, yes, Davis can, add it to hand and things like that, but I think just the 4 Positrons is just good enough on its own, really, truly. If you are about to die, you can always just Positron Laser to stop your opponent's turn, everything they're going to do on the following turn. It's crazy powerful card for sure. I mean, really, it's 5 costs less than Puppetmon. So, I mean, nothing you really even got to worry about. It does everything Puppetmon can do for cheaper, with the chance of also getting a bounce back to hand, which is something Puppetmon cannot do. And that is the total deck. It is just the Imperialdramon Rookie Rush deck, or Imperial Rush deck, however you want to look at it. Just kind of my interpretation of what that deck could have been, because like I said, we still haven't seen it. I just thought this was a neat little different thing that we could have done, because also it said that the 2 deck lists were different. There was an Imperialdramon deck and then an Imperial Rush deck, which makes me think, okay, by Rush, they don't mean just digivolving into Imperialdramon as fast as possible. That's not what, I don't think that's what they meant, because that would have just been an Imperialdramon deck. They were very specific in that it was 2 separate strategies entirely, which makes me think that it was definitely a Rookie Rush hybrid deck, and that is what I tried to make for you guys. I hope you like it. Super like neat deck. This is literally almost exactly the deck that my wife is currently playing, and yeah, she's been if she had more experience, she would probably be taking our locals like every single week, because I've seen her matches and she could have won, but with just a little bit more practice, she would have guaranteed won all the games that I've seen her play with it, because literally every time I'm like, oh yeah, she could win right here, right now. Every game, just because this deck is so crazy strong and so crazy fast. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and comment, as well as subscribe if you haven't already. If you enjoy this type of content, I try to put it out as much as possible, so definitely subscribe. Also, if you really enjoyed the content, check out my Patreon. I have a link in the description below for it. You can get access to my Discord server, as well as if you're a Dragon Village M fan, account takeovers where I help you out with your account. If you're a Digimon fan, I've got monthly giveaway, well, not even giveaways, I've got monthly merch that's specific to Patreon. Stuff like memory counters, custom made. This is the baby form of Vmon here. There's gonna be more in the works also, so lots of memory counters, all kinds of awesome Digimon merch. So definitely check out that tier. And if you're just all out crazy, there's other tiers if you're that dedicated. As well as check out my Teespring. I've got awesome merch there, official Battle Ready Inc. merch, awesome phone cases for you Digimon fans out there. They've got them for iPhones as well as Samsungs, so they are super sweet. If you've seen the last Digimon movie, that's where these are from. I had a friend of mine custom make these so that way they fit perfectly on these phone cases. They look super good, so definitely check those out. But at the end of the day, if you can't do any of that, just like I said, like the video, that helps a ton, and subscribe. It doesn't hurt, but it helps me. So that's what's the real benefit. And as always, I'll see you next time.